Today I'll be sharing with you a game that I stole from another YouTube channel. Now wait a second, before you go and subscribe and say Nelson's a thief, I'm never going to watch those videos again, stay till the end. I will explain why I stole it and what exactly I mean by that. But this game is absolutely fascinating. You're going to enjoy it. Let's take a look at this first. So this game was played by Rubinstein. Now Rubinstein never became a world chess champion, but he was one of the greatest chess players to ever play the game. And this game has one of the most mind-boggling combinations that I think I've ever seen. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in to why this game was so amazing. Oh, and by the way, this game was played over 100 years ago in 1907. Okay, let's take a look. So here we go. And one of the things about this game that I want you to pay attention to is look how it starts. What do you notice about the position? What do you notice about the position? Well, if you said it's exactly the same, you would be correct. Black has literally mirrored white's moves exactly. Now, the order was a little bit different, but we have the exact same position. And now we get some trades. So white captures, the bishop comes out, plays a3, trying to chase the bishop away, which he does. Bishop drops back. Bishop goes to b2. Okay, castles. Queen to d2, not the best move. We're going to come back to that one in just a second. But first, I'm going to show you a few moves later. Look at the position that we end up with. Look at this position very carefully. And again, what do you notice? A knight, and a knight, and a knight, and a knight, and a bishop, and a bishop, and a queen, and a queen. It's almost the exact same position. After black plays here, it actually is even more. Look at this. It's basically the exact same thing. Now, one interesting thing is that somehow white is behind. Which, if you remember how chess works, white gets to move first, and yet we end up with the exact same position, except black has already castled and brought a rook over. White still hasn't castled and hasn't used a rook yet. So that's interesting. So if you're wondering how exactly did that happen, let's go back and take a look at that. White actually wasted two tempo, or tempi, maybe is the correct way to say that, but a tempo in chess is like one move. So if you move a piece, that's a tempo. And you don't want to waste tempo, because if you waste tempos, you fall behind. So watch carefully here. White plays the move queen to d2. Okay, that's a tempo. And then a few moves later, here, plays queen to e2. So two tempo, or tempi, to get the queen to e2, whereas black did it in one move. Black didn't waste to move on queen d7. Okay, so that's one thing. And then here's the other one. I'll show you. Right here, white plays the move bishop to d3. And as soon as that happened, black took the opportunity to now trade the pawn. And therefore, white spent two moves to get the bishop there. Whereas when black captured the pawn, let's go back and look at that, because this is important. Right here, look at this. Bishop just immediately went out there, right? It didn't go to d6 first and then to c5. So because of those two things, we end up with this position, which is almost the same, except, like I mentioned, black is the one who is ahead here, this position. Black is the one who has these two extra moves, right? Those two moves that white wasted, black used to castle and bring the rook over. Now, you might say, well, that's great, but it's not a big deal, right? White's just going to castle, and they're going to bring their rooks over. This has got to look like the most boring position. Like, why are you showing us this game, Nelson? Like, look at this. The pawns are all the same. The pawns are the same over here. The pieces are the same. Like, what is going on? Well, black uses those extra moves to do something incredible. And starting with the move knight to e5. He's setting up to open up his bishops. Okay, great. So white captures. Look at the bishops, aiming towards the king. So f4 makes sense. You want to shut down this one. You want to gain some of that time back. So now black has to retreat. Okay, fine. e4, white says, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get the center. I'm going to push these pawns forward. Watch what happens. Rook to c8. And notice how black has now gotten all of his pieces into the game. And this is something that we talk about a lot on the channel here, developing and using all of your pieces, right? So just pay attention to that. Okay, let's keep going. e5 gets played, attacking the knight. And now black starts a series of moves, which is absolutely incredible. If you would like to pause, what do you think black played next? All right, if you had a chance to look at that, it's the move bishop to b6 check. So instead of dealing with the knight, takes this opportunity to go on the offensive and forces the king into the corner. All right, now it looks like white's king is actually pretty safe. So what do you think black played next? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, the move here, and this one shocked me when I first saw it, knight to g4. It kind of looks like, wait a second, we're just giving our knight for free. Why are we doing that? Aha, because the bishop on d3 is then going to be undefended. So for example, if white were to capture this, the rook now comes down to d3, and black is actually doing very well. Again, the bishops are just doing an awesome job, and both of black's rooks are very active, threatening actually to sacrifice here. You could even double up here. A lot of really nice things. So white says, okay, no big deal, bishop to e4, trying to shut down this bishop. Again, if you would like to pause, what do you think black played next? If you had a chance to do that, the move is queen to h4. Black is going for checkmate on h2. And here, white plays the move g3, which attacks the queen, defends the checkmate this way, but it's actually not a good move because of black's follow-up. Again, if you would like to pause, what do you think Rubinstein played next? If you had a chance to look at that, it's the move rook takes c3, giving up the rook for the knight. Why would black do that? Well, it's because if white captures this, the bishop here is no longer defended by the knight. You say, why is that important? Well, the queen is guarding checkmate. So if you can force the queen to leave, which you can do by capturing here, then you have checkmate on h2, okay? So white needed that knight to be able to defend the bishop, so that's why the rook sacrificed. But you might say, wait a second, Nelson, what about the queen? Did black forget about the queen? That's exactly what was played in the game. Captures the queen. So why did Rubinstein do that? What do you think he played next? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, the move is the incredible, mind-boggling rook to d2. And actually, if you don't find this move here, black's not even doing that great. Probably you have to play rook to e3 and there's some sort of draw according to the engine, but you really need to find this move. But it's absolutely a killer. And why is it such a good move? Well, first of all, notice there's nothing defending the rook. So why is black doing that? Well, this is actually what happened in the game. But the point is that if the queen moves, the bishop is no longer defended. And now you come in with bishop takes e4, and notice the king doesn't have anywhere to move. You've got your bishops cutting off all of the squares. So the only move for white is queen to g2, and now there's actually another finishing touch here, black to play. What do you think the best move is? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, it's the move, wait for it, rook to h3. Now, you don't want to just take the queen, because if you take the queen, the king takes, and white survives. Yes, you can go check, but then the king's going to come up. Yes, you can take this, but then the king's going to take this, and white's actually winning. White has 2 rooks, and black sacrificed all of his pieces, right? So you can't do that. So this is an important move to play. Rook to h3 is incredible. Look at this. It's going for checkmate, because the queen is pinned. The queen is not defending that pawn. You're about to take it. And of course, the queen can take your bishop. It doesn't matter. This is still checkmate because the bishop over here, the knight and the rook, the only pieces black has left delivering the final blow. I mean, it's an incredible move, right? And there's not, you can look around. There's nothing for white to do. If they play bishop d4, it just delays the game a little bit. Same thing. I don't really know what else they could do. Let's see. Rook here. You have, again, you just take it. There's really no way to stop this, is what I'm trying to show you guys, right? So incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. These pieces, normally the queen would just take them. You can't because the bishop, it's amazing. So that's one thing. Going back here, if the queen doesn't take the rook for some reason, let's say you take this, again, you have the same issue where this is going to be lead to a checkmate, and there's not really anything else for white to do. It's absolutely amazing. All right, well, I hope you guys appreciated that as much as I did. Now I have to explain where I stole this game from and why. So I was actually watching a channel. The video was called The Greatest Chess Games Ever. It was by ChessDojo. It's another YouTube channel. It's 2 international masters and a grandmaster. They kind of tag team. They do different videos at different times. And they put together this video of like all their top games from, and they broke it up into like different parts. And this one was pre-1920, I believe. And this was one of their games. I had never seen it before. I checked out the video. I saw it. I was like, wow, that's really cool. And so I wanted to actually draw your attention to their channel because, I don't know, I feel super blessed that a lot of my videos have been pushed. And so I feel like it's kind of not fair to like some of these other channels that have really great content And so they don't know that I'm doing this. As far as I know, they don't even know I exist. Maybe they've seen some of my videos. Maybe they haven't. I don't know. I've never met them. They didn't ask me to say this. I just wanted to. And actually, I might do this going forward, kind of point out some smaller channels that have really great, content. I have a couple other on my radar, so I might be stealing some more video ideas in the future. But anyway, no, seriously, ChessDojo. I'm going to link it down below. If they happen to watch this, hey, thanks for letting me steal your video. Actually, they didn't know I was going to do this. Didn't say that I could, but it's a famous game. It's not like, it's a secret game. But I had never seen it, right? Their video brought my attention to the game. So I wanted to share that with you guys, point out their channel. I would say their channel is a little bit more advanced than Chess Vibes. I kind of keep it very beginner and intermediate level. And some of their stuff is a little bit more difficult, but if that sounds like something you're interested, please check it out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing game. And if you liked this, there's a whole bunch of other ones that they have over there as well. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. As always, thanks for watching. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.